Among the international conservation efforts to protect the environment, the most important ones are conventions and protocols. So other than conventions and protocols, we have many other initiatives such as organizations, bodies, programs, okay, so initiatives, coalitions and all, but most important one is conventions and protocols. Convention is a broad grouping of all the countries who are ready to participate in a common cause. That is what is convention. For example, Vienna Convention to fight ozone depletion. To protect the ozone layer, we have Vienna Convention. Within the convention, when they agree on a specific target to be fulfilled, that is what we call it as a protocol or agreement. Okay, so within the Vienna Convention, we have Montreal Protocol. If you have a broad framework of all the major such conventions and protocols, it will be easier for you to, so correlate all the related efforts. Okay, so let's make a single flowchart to remember all the international conventions and protocols related to environment. We can divide them under 5 different headings. Number 1, related to pollution and degradation. We can put all pollution and degradation related efforts under one heading. Number 2, climate change. All climate change related efforts under one heading. Number 3, biodiversity conservation. Number 4, desertification and land degradation. Number 5, sustainable development. Let's try to remember under these 5 different headings all the major conventions and protocols which we have initiated. If you can classify this and make a mental framework, it will be very easy for you to, so add other extra information, any international body, international, so coalition or a particular program, you can just put it under the respective headings. Okay, so let's start with the pollution and degradation related conventions and protocols. All pollution and degradation related conventions and protocols. And of course, the most important one in this context is the 1972 Stockholm Conference. I'm including conferences also because the major conferences are where the conventions and protocols are agreed. Okay, so for the timeline it will be easier for you to remember. The Stockholm Conference of 1972 is the mother of all conventions, conferences. It is from here the environmental conservation efforts would begin internationally, and this also resulted in the establishment of UNEP, the UN body in the context of environmental protection. In the same year, 1972, London Convention was agreed. London Convention was about dumping of waste at sea. Dumping of waste at sea. And India is not a member, therefore we don't read about this very frequently, but in the chronology this also comes one of the very old conventions. In 1973, Marpol Convention was agreed about marine pollution. Any form of marine pollution, whether it is through discharge of sewage or in terms of greenhouse emission, all of the pollution related efforts, pollution related so issues in the context of marine pollution will come under this, and of course India is also part of this. Marpol Convention 1973. 1979 LRTAP, Convention on Long Range Transboundary Air Pollution. 1979 LRTAP Convention was agreed, Convention on Long Range Transboundary Air Pollution. India is not a member to this convention also. I guess we are not member to London Convention, we are not member to LRTAP. 1985 we have Vienna Convention on the protection of ozone layer. A major initiative at the international level to protect the ozone layer. One of the most successful convention which is universally agreed and universally ratified. Okay, so Vienna is basically convention. It was in the year 1987 Montreal Protocol was agreed. Under Vienna Convention to reduce the emission of ozone depleting substances, ODS. Which one? वो BRSM में आएगा, अभी आएगा. In the year 1989, Basel Convention was agreed on transboundary movement of hazardous waste. In the year 1998, Rotterdam Convention on transboundary movement of hazardous chemical was agreed. In the year 1999, Gothenburg Convention was agreed under LRTAP. Gothenburg Protocol. Gothenburg Protocol was agreed under LRTAP. Since India is not a member to LRTAP, India is not also not party to Gothenburg Protocol. 2001 Stockholm Convention on persistent organic pollutants was agreed. 2013 Minamata Convention on mercury pollution was agreed. Minamata Convention on mercury pollution was agreed. In the year 2016, Kigali Amendment to Montreal Protocol was agreed, through which we agreed to phase out hydrofluorocarbons. These are all the conventions and protocols in the order, chronological order, which are related to pollution and degradation. Next, climate change related. The earliest effort for climate change begins with 1987 establishment of IPCC, Sorry, 1988. 1988 establishment of IPCC, jointly established by WMO and UNEP. In the year 1992, UNFCCC was agreed as part of Rio Earth Summit. This is the framework convention to deal with climate change. As part of UNFCCC in the year 1997, Kyoto Protocol was agreed, giving specific targets for the countries to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. In the year 2002, New Delhi hosted the COP to UNFCCC. Okay, it becomes important for India. In the year 2010, Green Climate Fund was established at Cancun. Sorry, Green Climate Fund was agreed at Cancun, established at Durban next year. In the year 2012, Doha Amendment was agreed to extend the Kyoto Protocol beyond 2012. In the year 2015, Paris Agreement was agreed. One of the major COP was held in the year 2021 at Glasgow, where India gave Panchamrita commitments. Most of the countries upgraded their NDC commitments, including the declaration of net zero. This is in the context of climate change. In the context of biodiversity, we have 1971 Ramsar Convention to protect the wetlands and the associated biodiversity. In 1973, CITES was agreed, Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, to protect the wildlife from the international trade. 1979 CMS Convention, also known as Bonn Convention, Convention on Migratory Species, was agreed. In the year 1992, UNCCD was agreed. United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. This is also another major outcome of Rio Earth Summit. In the year 2000, Cartagena Protocol on biosafety was agreed as part of UNCCD to control the movement of genetically modified organism. That was Cartagena Protocol. In the year 2010, Nagoya Protocol was agreed for access and benefit sharing under UNCCD. In the same year 2010, Aichi biodiversity targets were also agreed for 10 years between 2010 to 2020. A set of 20 targets were agreed over there. Finally, in the year 2022, Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework was agreed. Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework was agreed. as a set of targets to be achieved between 2020 to 2030. A set of 23 targets were agreed. In the year 2023, High Seas Treaty was agreed, also called as BBNJ Treaty, Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdictions, under UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. That doesn't come under environment, but as an international maritime boundary, we can see that. These are the conventions and protocols under biodiversity. Desertification and land degradation. In the year 1977, there was a conference held on desertification. That was the only major conference which is dedicated on desertification. It is called as UN Conference on Desertification. UN Conference on Desertification was held in the year 1997. No major outcomes. There was some just general discussion and agreements to work to reduce the desertification. It was in the year 1992, UNCCD was agreed. United Nations Convention to combat desertification was agreed as a major outcome of Rio Earth Summit again. This is a solely legally binding convention to deal with desertification across the world. Okay, so and there are no major protocols under this convention. One major initiative was taken with the help of Germany. It was Bonn Challenge to reclaim the degraded land. Okay, so that was agreed in the year, that was initiated in the year 2011. And as a part of Sustainable Development Goals, in the year 2015, land degradation neutrality target was set. LDN target was set to be achieved by 2030. So this is what is majorly as part of desertification and degradation. And the last one, sustainable development. As part of sustainable development initiatives, the earliest initiative obviously goes back to 1972, Stockholm Conference, where in the conference itself it was discussed that it is possible to take the development along with the conservation. That idea itself is sustainable development. In the year 1982, after 10 years, Nairobi Conference was held. In the year 1992, Rio Earth Summit was held, which resulted in the major declaration of Agenda 21, which is an agenda for sustainable development was set here. Agenda 21, as well as the Rio Declaration. A set of principles for sustainable development was agreed here. In the year 2000, Millennium Summit of New York resulted in the establishment of Millennium Development Goals. In the year 2002, the second Earth Summit was held at Johannesburg, which is called as Rio Plus 10 Summit. In the year 2012, the Rio Plus 20 Summit was held. Back at Rio. That was the last time when the summit was held on sustainable development. And in the year 2015, Sustainable Development Goals were launched. So these are all the entire international conventions and protocols under one heading. If you can remember this major part of your, so the international initiatives framework will be done. You can add extra information on this. Any grouping, any summits. So let's say you want to add International Solar Alliance. You can add it under climate change. So anything related to pollution, if we are discussing, let's say Global Plastic Treaty, which is still under discussion, you can add it here. Any alliance, any grouping, any organization, you can add it here. But if you remember this in the first place, it will be easier for you. Okay?